Hey everybody, welcome to Awkward Situations, the series where you, the viewers, leave comments about situations happening in your lives, awkward or otherwise, and then we talk about them. Let's get to 2017 already. 2016 has been a bitch. Some very famous people have died this year. Prince, Muhammad Ali come to mind. It's been a tumultuous political year. There's been tragedies happening in Aleppo, which unfortunately will probably continue to happen into 2017, but there's just been so much shit going down in 2016. Can we please get to 2017 already? Craig Sager died today, and actually he died yesterday. I'm recording this at 4 a.m., but a lot of you out there may not know who this man was. He was a sideline reporter in the NBA, a league that I love so much, and he did many other jobs throughout his years, but he was a man who loved sports, and he loved what he did until the day he died. I'm not going to lie, I cried today watching some of those tribute videos to Craig Sager. He battled cancer, and he battled it for the last few years, a really harsh form of cancer, and he died, and it made me sad. But then I went to pick up my nephew from his daycare, and we hung out for a while, and then life bounces back. You know, there's tragedy, and then the tragedy makes you realize how important those small happy moments are. So that was my day. What did you do? Eat ramen noodles? Man, that got deep a little fast. Shit. I'm assuming most of you are out of school by now. You're on your winter break if you're in school. I mean, I'm out of school just because I dropped out to do YouTube. Great life choice. But I'm assuming a lot of you are on winter break if you're in high school and or college and you got done with your finals. So that's a great weight off your shoulder. Let's have a great Christmas holiday. Let's go to New Year's and drop that ball in New York City and enjoy ourselves. Like I said, it's late at night, so I don't know what I'm talking about now. Let's get to the first awkward situation and get done with the rambling. Okay, first awkward situation, go. Awkward situation. I was over at my best friend's house and his aunt and uncle were there. While we were upstairs hanging out, my friend's mom and aunt were doing an early Christmas gift exchange. Well, at one point in the evening, I took a break from playing PS4 with my friend and came down to get something to eat. When I rounded the corner of the stairs, I saw my friend's aunt changing in a dark corner in the dining room. I guess she had received a piece of clothing in the exchange and couldn't wait to try it on. Anyway, I just walked past her and pretended like I didn't notice, which was hard because I had to walk right past her to get to the kitchen. Even though I did my best to look like I didn't see her, I most definitely did, and she knew it. It was a very scarring experience, and things are very awkward around her now because she spends a lot of time with my friend's family. What should I do? You know, I'm going to have to disagree with you about that being a scarring experience, and maybe it's not my place to disagree with you because your feelings are your feelings. If you were scarred, you were scarred. But in my opinion, as a man, a scarring experience that relates to nudity would be like seeing my dad's dick. Because if it's a small dick, then I feel bad for him, and I'm confused as to how he got to this point in his life and has had all of this success and love with such a tiny penis. Dad, that's embarrassing. You're no longer the alpha male that I once viewed you as, or my dad has a huge dick, and I will never live up to his legacy, the legacy of that long schlong. I can never be my father, and that just hurts my self-esteem so much. So either way, seeing your dad's dick is a scarring experience. Now let's say you're not attracted to this woman. Trust me, man, it's no big deal. You're going to see people who you don't want to see naked in your lifetime. The first time I went to a local gym, it's called the MAC, Michigan Athletic Center. It's similar to a YMCA. It's a really nice facility. The first time I went there as a child, you walk in those locker rooms and there's saunas, and you see some men walk out of the sauna. The wrinkles scar you. It looks like a pug's face when you see those testicles for the first time. And you see old men naked, and after a while you get desensitized. Well, no, you don't get desensitized to it. You still are. Every time you see a guy naked to you in that locker room, you're like, God damn, that guy is naked as hell. He is old. But you don't want to see that. Sometimes you just got to see people naked that you don't want to, and you move on with your life. You know, this isn't you could have been in a car accident, man. You saw some titties, I'm assuming. I mean, you didn't say what you saw, but why the fuck was she? Is that a dressing room? You said the dining room. You get a gift from your friend at her house, and you're like, oh, this is a nice bra, Karen. Let me just walk over to the dining room and expose myself to any potential bypassers like those young boys upstairs playing PlayStation 4. Maybe it's not my place to say this, but that woman's a whore. You know what? That's not my place. She might be a nice lady, but if she's not attractive, again, not a big deal. You'll get over it. Embarrassing things are mended with times, but if she is attractive, this is a great opportunity for you, my man. This is something that you can store in your Spank bank. And a spank bank is very important to an adolescent male and or female. I can't get in the female brain, but I'm just speaking from a male's perspective here. The spank bank has to be something that you prioritize. Maybe not nowadays. I remember back in my day before smartphones, spank banks were everything because you had to use your imagination to masturbate during those boring times or those stressful times when you want to get that anxiety out of your system. You needed a great spank bank and a great imagination. I feel like I'm the creative man I am today because I was able to store so many wonderful nude and or sexual memories in my spank bank. When I was in the 8th grade, we were having this party, guys and girls, at the cool house, the house where the parents let the kids drink, but don't drive away, but we're the cool parents, I love those people. But we were having this party in the 8th grade. We weren't drinking. I had a little to drink, but I wasn't I didn't really drink until I was 21. I'm going off topic. Anyway, hot girls there. Kind of. I'm an average looking guy, I like to think, but some of my hot guy friends were there, big dicks and stuff. I don't know how big their dicks are. And for the first time, everyone just decided to play some truth or dare and get nude. And I saw so many women's breasts that night. It was a wonderful night in my life that I still remember to this day. I might remember that on my deathbed. I'm going to remember, getting married to my wife and having kids and all the other wonderful things I do in my life, hopefully winning an Oscar or a Pulitzer Prize or something. Just, I need something to put on my damn bookshelf. But that night was a great night in 2003. As I'm making this series, I am realizing that a lot of the best things in my life happened in 2003. Great year. But I've told this story before, so I'm sorry if you've heard it. It's, you got to tell this one again. It's a great one. 5 guys, 5 girls. Truth or dare, somebody brings up the topic of taking off clothing. Before we know it, we're all outside by the basketball hoop in the driveway. Girls are taking their shirts off. Guys are also taking their shirts off. A lot less impressive. Some guys took their pants off. I didn't have to do that. I felt like my personality could make up for the fact that I didn't want to take my pants off at that time. Call me a pussy. All the rest of the guys didn't take their pants off except for 2 guys. They had huge dicks. Those were my boys. I think, the other 3 guys were like, nah, we're good on that, fam. But we're, bare chested so the women can also see our bare chests, and that's pretty cool. And then we just walked around the house nude. It was a real spiritual experience. Kind of weird, and I still remember it to this day. So that was fun times. Great spank bank material that lasted me until graduation of high school. Hopefully one day you can look back on this moment and enjoy it. It can be something that is a great memory for you, a great memory stored in that spank bank, and you won't be scarred by this because there are many more things in your life that are coming down the road that will scar you. This should not be one of them. Hopefully I helped. I'm sure I didn't. That's terrible. I don't even know if I gave advice. I was going to say that's terrible advice, but where's the advice, Joel? I don't know. I didn't say this was an advice series. This is mostly just an excuse to talk about myself by proxy of you guys leaving comments about your lives, and then I flip it around and talk about my life. Welcome to the series. I've been doing this for a while. Okay, next topic. Hey Joel, just yesterday I was out on a dinner date with my girlfriend at Applebee's. We got there and we were seated rather quickly, and I ordered one of my favorite appetizers, mozzarella sticks. I was so hungry at the moment that I began to eat them, and I took too big of a bite of one of the mozzarella sticks and I began to choke. My girlfriend saw this and was getting concerned, but I got up and went to the bathroom and coughed it up after she brought up the idea. After that, I lost my appetite and didn't feel like eating the rest of the night, and I felt bad that I ruined our special date we had planned. My girlfriend told me that it was okay, and she's glad I'm okay, but I just can't get over that I also felt a little embarrassed because it was pretty scary and I felt like I couldn't breathe. And overall, I just looked like an idiot trying to cough it up and the whole restaurant staring at me. That is a great awkward situation. And if I can be just a little critical of you, you planned a special night with your girlfriend to go to Applebee's? Is that your idea of a special night, man? I don't want to be too critical of you because this is a series where I try to help people and get close to people. But my man, I have never sat down with a woman and said, baby, I want to treat you special tonight. We're going to Applebee's, baby. You're getting some fucking anytizers. Whatever you want, girl. 5 o'clock. You know what? That's bullshit. I did used to go to Applebee's a lot with Megan. She can attest to that. They used to have some bomb-ass queso dip, and then they took that off the menu. I have no interest in going to Applebee's anymore, where they microwave all their food and gross things that you learn about that restaurant that make you not want to eat there again. But that queso dip was the bomb. We used to go there, Megan and myself, used to go there at like midnight. They have Applebee's on campus that's open until I think 1 or 2, and we used to go there at midnight and just get some appetizers and chill. those are good memories. So I guess Applebee's can be fun as long as you don't know how they cook their food. But I think this is a great awkward situation. I like how you didn't say please help at the end of the situation, because there's nothing I can help with. It's just a great awkward situation that causes me to think of these situations in my own life. One in particular comes to mind with my high school girlfriend, my first serious girlfriend. And I was dating her not too long after I got my driver's license, about a year. I was 17. I had just turned 17. So about a year, a little less than a year after I got my driver's license, because I got it in December of my 16th year on this planet because of basketball. You don't care, whatever. So I hadn't been driving for that long, and I wanted to do something special with my newfound girlfriend. We had been dating for a couple of months. I wanted to take her to this nice mall. It's actually not that nice, but I thought it was nice at the time because, you don't know shit when you're 16 years old. It's called Great Lakes Crossing in Michigan. It's an outlet mall. There's better malls in Michigan, but this is a really big outlet mall in Auburn Hills. And I had been there once with my family, and I thought it was a cool place. I still think it's pretty cool. But I wanted to take her there, and we would go shopping for the day, eat at Rainforest Cafe. I don't know. There's a Rainforest Cafe there, and Rainforest Cafe is way fucking overpriced. I would never eat there as an adult, but, there's an alligator there, so, oh my God, it's cool. I got to eat their shitty food. But there's a lot of restaurants around there, so I figured we would go shopping and eat at some restaurants. So we drive up there, and it's cool. It's a little overcast, but we're having a great time, and I really enjoyed the day with her. We had some good shopping times, and then we ate some Chinese food. We go to leave, and this is where shit goes downhill. As I stated previously, it was overcast when we were going to the mall. It was pouring rain when we were leaving the mall. But we had to get home. She had a curfew. I kind of had a curfew. So I tried to push through in the rain, and I actually did make it home. I'll spoil the end of the story. But when I made it home, I was definitely less of a man in her eyes than when we made that trip. Because I think about 30 minutes outside of the mall, because I should give you a little details. It's about an hour and 20 minutes. It's exactly an hour and 20 minutes between where I lived and where the mall was. So about half an hour into the trip home, I was near tears because I felt so scared behind the wheel of a car when it's just pouring rain, and I probably should have pulled over to the side of the road. I mean, it's hard to drive when your vision is blocked and the road is all wet. It was a bad storm, and I wanted to look like a man, but I didn't have those years of driving experience that you need to know how to control your car. This will make sense to people that have been driving for a while, but when you first get your license, you're not completely confident in your driving abilities, and there's some things you don't know how to do. Over time, you memorize everything that you do while driving to the point where a lot of this stuff becomes subconscious, and you know when you can and can't control your vehicle. But like I said, I had not been driving for very long, so I was not to that point yet. And this was a terrifying drive. Like, I'm pretty sure I did cry. I feel like I didn't, but maybe a single tear rolled down my eye, my right eye, so she could see it in the passenger side. Because I thought I was going to die, but I still kept driving for some reason. And by the end of the drive, she was consoling me. I felt okay, but that was the start of the end of the relationship because I did not look like a man driving home. So what were we talking about again? What was your situation? Oh, yeah, you choked on mozzarella sticks. I used to choke on mozzarella sticks, too. I was not confident in my eating abilities. I'm just not confident in general. But I used to get paranoid about choking on things as a child. I don't know if that's a phobia, but I had maybe just a step under a choking phobia, and mozzarella sticks used to trip me up all the time. So I feel you on that. Those things are tough to eat, little rubbery foods like that. And I hope your girlfriend still views you as a man. I hope that, you know what, your girlfriend still views you as a man. That's not, my situation is not your situation. Your relationship's totally not going to end in 5 months because she finds some dude that plays water polo and he can do a lot more push-ups than I can, and God fucking damn it, I'm going to kill him. No, I'm married now, so I'm over that. But it's, you're going to be with her forever, right? I hope so. Don't worry about that. That's a great story. Tell that to your kids when you guys have kids together, if you guys get married and she doesn't view you as a beta male. Okay, let's move on to the next awkward situation. I'm not really helpful this episode. Hey, Joel, I have an awkward situation. So I'm almost 17 and I've had my license for about 3 months. The other day I was driving in the snow and I didn't realize how slippery it was. Needless to say, it didn't end well. I put the car into a giant ditch and ran it through a mailbox before it stopped. My brother was in the car and I can't help but think I almost killed the both of us. Now I'm kind of afraid to drive again. How do I get over this fear? Any help would would be great. Thanks. This actually kind of relates to what I just said, but I have been thinking about winter driving a lot lately because there was actually just a horrific crash where I live. I live in Michigan, and it seems like this is going to be a rough winter. The last 2 winters have been mild, but it has been pouring snow. Is that what you say? Pouring snow? Blustering snow? I don't know what the describing word for snow falling out of the sky is, but I'm going to go with it has been pouring snow the last couple of days, and I think last week last couple of days, it's been snowing here for the last couple of weeks, and last week there was a major car accident on I-96, a 40-plus, maybe 50-plus at this point, car pileup in which 3 people died. Terrible situation, but when it's snowy on the road, it only takes one person to make a mistake, and in this case, it sounds like you didn't even make a mistake. I mean, maybe your mistake was going a little faster than you should have. It's tough to judge, man. I've been driving on snow for a while. As I said in the previous situation, I'm more confident in my driving abilities, but sometimes you just get caught off guard. Driving is a subconscious activity in a lot of respects, and to pay attention for long periods of time is difficult as millennials because we got our phones and we got things to look at. I can't focus on a snowy road for that long. My brother-in-law drove me home from a Pistons game in the snowy conditions a few days ago, and I commended him because I've done that before, driven through a blizzard, driven through a snowstorm. It is so hard. It is a white knuckle opposite of joyride. You've heard the term white knuckle joyride? It is a white knuckle sad ride, scared ride. You're just focusing on what you're doing. You're going 40 miles an hour on the highway, and it feels like faster than you've ever gone because you're driving with no traction or limited traction, and it's very scary. That's happened to me before where I haven't ditched a car. I've ditched a car in a driveway. No, okay. So I've gotten cars stuck in multiple driveways because in my life, have driven many cars that have terrible traction. 93 Ford Escorts don't do the best in winter conditions. I drove a truck for a living before I did this YouTube thing. So between the ages of like 19 and 22, maybe? Yeah, like 19 and 22. I was working on campus driving a truck during winter, and it wasn't a big truck that had a lot of traction. It was a flatbed truck, but not a super long flatbed, so like a pickup with an extended flatbed. And the people that I worked with used to make fun of that truck because they said this is the worst truck to drive in the winter. So I took a lot of pride in never getting into an accident with it and controlling it even through these harsh winter conditions. But I did get it stuck once at this wood pile, and I had to have my friends come pull me out. And they said, we commend you because you should have gotten this stuck many, many times before this point. And I took a lot of pride in that, but I've gotten my car stuck in a few driveways. My parents have a long driveway, and I've had a lot of friends get stuck in that driveway, and we had to dig them out or pull them out, however you get. We put some salt on the wheels or whatever. I don't even know where I'm going with this. It's just winter driving is pretty crazy. I still can't get over the fact that we drive these cars. We control these vehicles as humans. They're testing autonomous cars in San Francisco now, and apparently on the first day, the robot accidentally drove through a red light, so that's going to set things back a bit. And in Michigan, there was a bill signed that we can test autonomous cars in the state, but, there's this whole legislative thing where Tesla can't have its own dealerships here because the big auto industry in Michigan, bureaucracy, bullshit, all this, whatever. I'm totally off topic. I just wanted to have a situation in here about the winter because that's on my mind a lot lately. You guys get me? When you write situations about things that are already on my mind, it pretty much automatically gets into the next episode. I'm thinking about winter a lot. I'm thinking about the holidays, if I want to give you guys hints on how to get in the next episode. And I'm thinking about the new year. So I'll call this a shorter episode. Some people have been saying the episodes are too long. Maybe a lot of you disagree with that, but I'll call it here. I don't have a lot on my mind, I guess, tonight, just all over the place. So I do have a lot on my mind, and I simultaneously have nothing on my mind. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you guys have a good start to your winter break and a good ending. But I will see you again before then, next week this time. See ya.